Hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be walking you through how we booked over 100 plus calls with candidates for a UK-based recruitment company that was less than 2 months old with no online presence, barely even a website. And I'm going to show you how we used it using our prospectology engine to book in all these calls. I will give you the context, so stay until the end of the video so you can see exactly how we did it. Now, let's get straight into the video. Okay, cool. Let's get straight into the video. So, context. Like I said in the intro, a UK recruitment company came to us, right? They were 2 months into trading, 3 months into trading, barely a website, no online presence. Even to this day, they're still not public. They're not even out there, right? So it's a shame really, because they shall not be named, but it would have been nice to name them, of course, for better social proof. But this was something new to me. I've never done outbound on behalf of a recruitment company before. Two, it was very challenging, but we got over some challenges for this company and for this recruitment company. And lastly, it actually supercharged the engine we have today. And I'll explain a little bit more detail on that and what I mean by that. But one thing to stress on this is that, remember, these guys had no brand recognition, barely 3 months old. They had 3 to 4 reps, about 3-4 reps cold calling on their behalf. I think they were still getting some decent enough results. When they had come to us, they had no multi-channel approach. They were not doing emails, they were not doing LinkedIn messaging, if they were, it was very manual, not efficient, and taking far too long. And I think their process was just connect on LinkedIn and then cold call them. And using the Atlas platform, I believe they tried to do outbound on there, but there's so many leaky holes with Atlas CRM or Atlas platform, recruitment platform. In my opinion, it's not an outbound platform, and it doesn't have the beautiful detail, the beautiful nuance or context that we have today with other tools that we can piece together and leverage that and get the most out of it. But 100 plus calls that we booked for them, it could be more, but again, proof's in the pudding, right? So we'll show you the dashboard, go to the last 3 months. As you can see here, 621 connection requests out of 1,800. I think there might have been a little bit more. 33%, pretty decent. This is over 4 profiles, by the way. We got 309 replies, 228 of them were interested, but when you actually look into it closely with a magnifying glass, I think it was around about 10 to 120 meetings we booked with candidates on behalf of this UK recruitment company. We also tried in-mails as well. They were quite good. They were quite decent, but it was kind of messing up with some of the workflows. Now, I won't go into too much detail on that, but we stopped using in-mails, and instead we started to structure our sequencing like this. So as you can see on the screen, some of these reps that were cold calling may have already been connected with these individuals. So we do if connected, send a connection, if connected, straight to message number 1, as you can see here. Then it'll be 2-3 days later, we'll send another message. Then we'd wait 2-3 days after that, ping them in, push them into an instantly campaign, and enroll them into a 3-step email sequence after that. So it was a multi-channel approach. And while this was going on, they were also doing the cold calling as well. So, and on the other side of it is, they weren't connected, usual stuff, send connection request. The other branch is, once it had been accepted within 3 hours, they get their first message, because there was a lot of urgency to get these candidates through the hiring process or outreaching to them. Same on the other side, so 3 hours, then another message, then pushed into instantly. If with them, or we'd view the profile, and then 1 week later, if we hadn't got no connection request or accepted, then they'd get pushed into the email campaign via instantly. So I just wanted to give you that context as well of how that looks. And as you can see on the dashboard, really good results. And like I said, this was really good for us because it helped us supercharge and create the engine we have today, but it came with a lot of challenges, and we got through them, and it actually helped us build something that was what we have today, which is the prospectology engine. So I'm actually grateful for them challenges to get what we have today. But as you can see here, yep, we started with them on the 13th of May, and there's reply after reply after reply, like literally infinite replies that get pushed into a Slack channel, and everybody had visibility on it, including myself and all the reps that had, if there was a connection accepted or requested, they'd just jump onto that and then and start cold calling. But some of the challenges are first. So what did we do? What did they do? And how did we solve some of their problems? So first and foremost, we actually not only did multi-channel for them, but we actually warmed up a lot of the candidates for them. And what I mean by that is we automated everything from start to finish, as I just showed you the multi-channel approach. But initially we do the connection request, that would get accepted, that will ping straight into the Slack channel, and that will prompt some of the reps to go on the phone and actually cold call that individual, right? And that's quite a warm approach there. So connect on LinkedIn, message gets accepted, or message them through the sequencing, and then obviously if there was no sort of reply back on via HeyReach, via LinkedIn, they would then get pushed into an email campaign. So we've done all the deliverability there, set up multiple mailboxes, the usual stuff there as well. But one of the biggest issues that we came across was we had to create a do not contact list. Now, we had to connect via API to the Atlas recruitment platform. Remember, it's not an outreach tool. It's more of a CRM, in my opinion. And we have so many candidates getting sourced, right? And there was a few issues on that. Some of them didn't have phone numbers, some of them didn't have emails, and we were using a tool called Contact Out to find personal email addresses. Now, we're so lucky to have your Prospios, Better Contact, Full Enriches, and all these other different lovely tools, right, that can find work emails, and the coverage is a lot better. But when it comes to personal emails, it's a different ballgame. And the success rate is a hell of a lot lower compared to work emails. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But what we had to do is each of the candidates that were moving through their sort of process, so we had rejected, internal IV, join, do not contact or join. So there was a big list on Atlas. There was daily changes. I think using Lovable, we helped connect that sort of process there, which was a live dashboard. Every 10 minutes it was updating. So we connected it to our engine. What the engine had to do was essentially read the list, look at the daily changes, look at the new source candidates, find email or phone number, sort through all of them just to make sure that they're not already in a campaign. And by the way, some candidates were also eligible for different job roles, which again was which made it more complex. But what the engine actually did was it made sure that nobody was double messaged. So if they were in one campaign, they wouldn't be added to another campaign unless we use the Atlas platform as a true source of information. So let's say one of their reps have cold called someone, they're now in the hiring process, they're interested, they booked a meeting with them, that would then get pushed directly into a do not contact list, right? That the engine actually did itself. So this is all automated. The engine actually has done that automatically in the back end as well. Now, this was a big issue initially. Obviously, they wanted a one-stop shop for everything. They wanted one tool to do the cold calling, the email outreach, and also the LinkedIn outreach as well. So I suggested let's do Lemlist. But I think they didn't want to kind of replicate that yet, and maybe that could be something they do in-house eventually. But what eventually we did was, basically, we used this whole multi-channel approach. We used the engine to pick out all the do not contact lists. And then that was a way in which to kind of stay on top of it, because initially we had a lot of challenges, right? So we had, when we first started doing it without the engine, some candidates were being double messaged, and that looks embarrassing, doesn't look good. Some candidates get annoyed. Oh, I spoke to somebody already, so-and-so on the phone, and I'm not interested, or we're at the next stage. So we had to use the engine to, one, pull out all these DNC lists. Again, I wish I could show you the actual Atlas API or dashboard, but obviously I can't name this client. But we were able to, like I said, book in around about, I think they booked in around about 120 calls, right? There's 228 they're interested, but if you actually look into it in detail, there was around about 120 candidates that they actually booked in. And yeah, this was pretty cool, especially for a company or recruitment company that's, one, got no presence, barely started, about 3-4 months ago. This was a kind of a really cool way to kind of do it. So to kind of recap, what we actually did was we did all the RevOps for them, the automation for them. They gave us the messaging. We did the enrichment. So from the Atlas platform where they source candidates, if there was no email address, no phone number, we would go ahead and automatically do that enrichment inside of the engine. We then enroll them, all the new candidates that are being sourced, into the appropriate campaign. If they had been contacted via cold call, or if they've replied back on a message via HeyReach or instantly via email, it would then put them into a do not contact list, and the engine's done that. Now, we've also got candidates that were eligible for other campaigns as well, or other hiring roles, so the engine had to pick that up apart as well. Now, like I said, this enabled us here at Hospitality to supercharge and actually create this engine, use it for ourselves, and now currently using it for other clients as well. So that, I just wanted to give us a bit of nuance there, a bit of context there. The proof is in the pudding, as you can see on the screen. We never worked with a recruitment company before. We now probably will work with a lot more recruitment companies because we've proven it now. They've proven the model. The engine works. And there was a few blips and there was a few speed bumps along the way, but we overcame them by just testing really quickly, trying new things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to give you a bit of context on how we booked in over 110 calls for this UK recruitment company that we can't name, unfortunately, but this was basically what we did, the nuance behind it, the context behind it. If this is something you're interested in, for us to do it for you on your behalf, whether you're a recruitment company, SaaS, AI, or a fintech company, we're happy to kind of jump on a call with you, show you how we can do the same thing for yourself and for your company to help you build some really good high converting pipeline. We've also got a 40-day pilot going on right now. Yes, a 40-day pilot. We're fully booked in July, but August is literally around the corner. We do 3 spots per month. So you can book in a call with us in our Calendly link. I'll hyperlink that in the description below. Book us in a call. We do a 40-day pilot with you. We actually create the engine for you, run it for you. And then if you want us to hand it over, we're happy to hand it over for you as well. So yeah, like I said, book a call in the description below if you want to book a call with us so you can discuss how we can get some similar results for you, where we can create some really high converting campaign. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.